if someone wants to, we can clip them off here with this piece here if we have time. Not that close, probably just a little bit longer. Just to, yeah. And so what we're going to do is we're going to continue with this top, middle, and bottom. Top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom. So yes, yellow on the top, that's perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a table over here, and we're also going to set up a table over there. And I think about 4 people per table should be adequate enough. The chairs are here. Again,
I'm Ryan Chermain. I work at Team Detroit. I came up with this idea several months ago. I was at Avalon one day drinking coffee, looking at what is it, 70 West, the huge
monstrosity.
Yeah, the huge building there with all the windows that are all blown out. And was thinking, you know, we should do a vertical garden in those windows. Team Detroit started it up, and we kind of did all the research to figure out how it was going to happen, what we needed, these sorts of things. We do pro bono work for Greening of Detroit. They're the experts in the city on planting and that sort of thing, on resource management and volunteer efforts and stuff like that to green the city. So we basically talk with them about it, specifically the plants, what plants are going to live here, what's best for the Midwest climate, what's really hardy that doesn't need, you know, a ton of attention. And they also came out and helped with the volunteers. UCCA we got involved with, and that was actually how we got the Forest Arms. And I was amazed because that building is very sweet. I thought we would do something really small. We talked with Sue Mosey from the UCCA. She's basically the developer of Midtown. We talked with Sue and asked her, you know, what buildings would be good for the event, and she immediately thought of Scott and the Forest Arms. She's the wizard.
What year was it?
What was here before there was a
2008.
fire?
It was an apartment building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was actually, so there was a bunch of apartment blocks on this street for Wayne State, and you can, you know, the ones are still all occupied down there. This was actually the nicest one of them.
Yeah.
And then it had the fire, and it's been empty for a couple of years. But Scott put a new roof on it, and he's going to put condos up above and then rehab the inside of it.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's so great to see things restored.
yeah, totally.
It was tragic. You know, it was something you wake up to and watch on the news, and holy crap, that's, you know, in our backyard. And, you know, of course, you know, somebody lost their life. It was very tragic. A lot of people were displaced. And we had an opportunity to keep it from being torn down, and bought it. And, you know, it's our intent to restore it back to the way it was right before it burns.
Well, I lived here about a year before it burned down. It was full of and anyone from students to senior citizens. It was full of a lot of diverse range of people. And 7 in the morning or something, I got a text message from my friend who lived in the building next door to it, saying it was burning down, and I couldn't really believe it because, I mean, this place is just such like a hub for the campus area and for Midtown. And this was my apartment right here. This was the kitchen, stove was right there, refrigerator was right here. I remember the first day of class, and it was one of my favorite days that I can remember because all of my friends, people that didn't even live in Detroit but went to Wayne State, and just all my friends came over to my new place here in this sweet building, and we all hung out, and it was a really great time. It was a really great place to live because it's just so busy and populated, and anytime you were bored, you could just look out the window and it was like theater. There was something crazy going on outside. So very weird, like kind of ghostly experience.
So we had 50 volunteers from Team Detroit, 3 or 4 folks from the UCCA. We had Paul from the Greening of Detroit, Paul Bailey. Basically, the volunteers came there around 10 a.m. and we broke them up into different groups to tackle the hanging process of it. We had lunch, which was traffic jam. Provided the lunch for us. We had a nice cookout and everything. the Juliets performed, which was really cool. It was actually the participants were able to experience that and go see the band inside the building in various spaces, you know, on the roof, actually a couple spaces outside the building and then a few spaces inside the building.
If I could take it in, all your love, all your love.
Environmentally, it was really cool because there was a storm that just missed us, and you know, the whole afternoon it was supposed to rain, it was supposed to storm, and we almost canceled it. And we did a time-lapse video, you guys did, where you can actually see the storm, you know, moving across over the building, and you see the tail end of it. It just missed us, and so I think it added to the experience that, you know, everybody there was just really amazed that we pulled it off and just really, you know, walked away with something very tangible.
All things considered, I'm really happy that it's coming back though, however, you know, slowly and surely it might be. I mean, this place needs to be back. Midtown, this whole area, the campus area, needs this building for sure.
The plan is to do this through the Cass corridor and connect downtown to Midtown and create a green corridor that you can move through that is taking advantage of some of the architectural treasures like the Forest Arms, and you know, showing them in a new light, showing them in a more progressive way.
A big part of Detroit is perception, and this goes a long way in doing something about perception of you know, these kind of buildings. You know, we happen to be in a more viable neighborhood in the city, so this you know, really calls attention to, dresses up, and you know, makes people think of these things in a different way other than eyesores and things that need to be torn down.
I think for the neighborhood it means, I think it's another positive thing that's happened in this area, and I think, I don't know, I'd like to see every year things happen in this neighborhood, and those things get bigger and bigger. I think that's how we start moving forward. So I don't think this means anything that's going to like radically change Detroit, but I do think that, you know, it's just building off of the blocks that are already there and starting to widen the sphere of that influence.